Hello, online students. I am going to be making a recording for you, an overview of physical assessment. Again, do not panic. It's not as bad as it looks, and I think once you go through this and see how I've outlined it and try to help you stay on track, it will not be as bad. Now, as far as the online, the way that we're going to do your head-to-toe assessment is that you will be doing your head-to-toe assessment at home. So you will need to try to get some equipment if you don't already have it for this program for actually being able to do the assessment. Some basic things that you're going to need: 2 different scents, and those are easy to find around your home, so you'll need those. Tuning forks are very cheap, and again, we do, if you just absolutely cannot do this and want to come on campus because you can't borrow the actual equipment from somebody, an office or something, then please let me know. This is a tuning fork. You'll need a tuning fork. You'll need a reflex hammer, which you can get relatively cheap as well. Cotton ball. Some kind of gauze pad. Tongue depressor. Tape measure of any type to measure. Paper clip. Note card. And then ophthalmoscope and otoscope. So if you don't have one of these, of course these can be quite expensive, but you can buy cheaper versions as well. Then you will need, again, to try to go to a clinic or something to see if you can borrow them. If not, then touch base with me. And that's what you'll need to complete your head-to-toe assessment as far as the equipment. All right, so what I'm going to do is get off of here for a second, and then we'll go to the actual course. And let me pull this up. And if you go to your practicum course and you go to content module, now we'll be starting week 2, woohoo. And it says physical assessment Candler, start here. And there's physical assessment for Miss Smedley. So let's go to start here. There's your objectives, and you can see it says these objectives will cover the physical assessment content covered by all instructors. So in other words, I'm teaching part of it, Miss Enlos is teaching part of it, and Miss Smedley's teaching part of it. But we all will not have separate objectives. This includes the objectives for all 3 of us, okay? So if you click on your objectives, there's our objectives that we're going to want you to do. Here's the content that we're going to be covering, so you can read over those. Do not panic, but we are going to, it says for a reading assignment, skim chapters 3 through 5 and 8 through 27. Again, do not panic. Skim means skim. We do have DVDs here on campus if you live close enough that you want to come by and check them out, but it's only for a 24-hour period, so it's not very conducive for online. But all you've got to do is go in and Google some of these videos, and you can find them online through any YouTube as well. And you can pass, some of these are actually in more detail than what you will be doing. So it's not a have to see thing. That's just a nice to see thing, but not have to see thing. After class, the student will be expected to write up a comprehensive health history and physical exam on your partner. So you will write up a comprehensive health history and physical exam. This is due on the day you turn in your physical assessment head-to-toe check-off video. The last date possible to turn that in is February the 22nd at 23:59. So you can do it through YouTube. You can do it through, if you don't want to be posted on YouTube, you can do it on your phone, and you can send that to me in an email or a link. You can do it and save it to a CD and send in a CD. You can put it on a jump drive and send me the jump drive. There are several different ways to go about recording and sending in your recording. The student has to achieve a 76 or better on your checkoffs. If the student does not, they will not be allowed a second attempt, and your first score will stand. Failure to complete the physical exam on the second attempt will result in dismissal from the RN program. Now, The second attempt will be conducted by the first 2 faculty members and will be video recorded on campus. So if you don't pass the video recording, then you will have to come on campus for your second attempt, and there will be 2 faculty present and 1 will record it. Why do we do that? Because the second attempt, if you don't pass, you're out of the program. So we want to record it, so in case you say, hey, I think I did that, we can have it on recording and we can go back and play it and see if you did or didn't, okay? But just know, if you make a 60 the first time, the second time's pass fail. You're stuck with that 60, so you want to do your best, okay? All right, so that's the objectives for all the instructors. Here's the physical assessment PowerPoint that I'm going to be covering, and I am going to be covering pages 6 and 7 and chapters 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Do not panic. I will be skimming those, and I will be going over the content that you need to know for them. So once I get started, I think you're going to figure out it's not as bad as it looks. As far as your checkoff sheet, it says stay calm and don't faint. It won't be as bad as it looks after we get started covering it. So this is the actual physical assessment checkoff sheet. I would make a copy of this and print it so that you'll have it as I'm going over my lectures, because when I finished, we will be going over this in detail, and I'll be going over it as I go through my content. You can get the max points you can get in each section is 2 if you do everything well. Then if you just did it fair, you get 1 point. And then if it's unacceptable or you skipped it, you get a 0. And we have what constitutes outstanding, fair, and unacceptable. You can see here that midterm skills competencies, or your checkoffs, have to be passed with a 76 or higher. You'll be again allowed 2 attempts. The second one will be scheduled at our discretion. The first score will stand, and this has to be done before clinical start. The second attempt will only count as a pass-fail. An unsuccessful second attempt will result, unfortunately, in dismissal from the program. And I've already told you 2 members will be present with 1 recording and why that's important. So here we go. Now, Ms. Candler, do I have to do this word for word and section by section? No, you can do it however you want as long as you do it all. So if you want to come in and say, hey, I feel better doing all my cranial nerves at the beginning, so I'm going to do my general survey and then I'm going to start on my cranial nerves. That's fine. As long as you can do them and you do them all together, I don't care how you get this done. As long as you cover it in the way that's comfortable for you, you can move it around any way you want. I will be covering the first 10 sections, the general survey, the head and face, the oral pharynx, the internal and external nose, the external eye, the internal eye, the external ear, the internal ear, the neck, and then finally I will stop with the lymph chains in the head and neck. Then other faculty will pick up at number 11 and we'll cover the rest of these, the 11 through 24. Now 25 is just maintaining privacy throughout the assessment. If you don't do that, you will get a reduction of 10% overall. If you get it, you get a 2. So there is a maximum of 300 points that you can receive for this assessment. So you want to practice, 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 practice. And again, right now, looking at it, you're thinking, holy camoly. It is not as bad as it looks, and I think you'll really feel that way after you get through listening to my lecture and I get you started on it. The last thing you're going to see here is the grading tool for the write-up. And right now, my recording's not on here because I've not posted it, but it will also be up here. So what is the grading tool write-up? This is what I told you that you have to do the day you turn in your assessment, your head to toe, and it's due at the latest by the 22nd of February that you have to turn in. So this is your comprehensive health history and physical exam, the write-up part. I will go over this in detail. So again, download this, have it ready and waiting so that when I go over it, you've got it. You're going to have 10, 20, 45 points for the first part, the comprehensive health history. So for doing the comprehensive health history, it's worth 45 points. Then the rest of the points comes from writing up the comprehensive physical head-to-toe exam. This follows the same format as your write-up, you will see, as your actual head-to-toe assessment. So as you're doing your head-to-toe assessment, you write it up. What this does for us is make sure that that you have done your head to toe on your partner before you start. Now, you can do this on anyone as long as the person is 18 years or older. So you can pick someone, it can be a family member, it can be another classmate if you want to do it on each other on a classmate. So you pick the person as long as they are 18 or over. And make sure that you get their consent to do the physical exam. If you're going to post it on YouTube and you want to make it private, that's fine. Just make sure that I can get to it and I can see it. Otherwise, make sure that that person, if you're going to post it on YouTube, understands that and knows that if you're going to post it to public, that other people will see it. You make sure that they understand that. Otherwise, do not use it without their permission. This part here, again, I will go over as we are doing. You can see here, then you'll get 5 points for critical thinking and attitudes and behaviors, 5 points, so that you've got a maximum of 135 points you can make up on the write-up. So that is what is involved in the physical assessment. That was the overview to get you started. And I will be actually recording the actual PowerPoint next. So this will get you introduction. So make sure, let's do a print off of the checkoff sheet, a print off of the grading tool, and a print off of my PowerPoint. All right, I will look forward to having you view my part 1. Thanks a lot.